Good morning, everyone.
Thanks. Okay, how are we looking, Lisa?
I was just going to tell you, you could probably go ahead and get started if you're ready, Gary. I believe Justin and I are ready. We have a quorum of members from what I can see in the participant list.
Okay, and so I need
So
to know.
we have enough to go ahead and nominate and elect officers according to the list I have.
Okay, we'll go ahead and get started.
Okay.
Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome back. Hope everybody stayed safe and healthy over the holidays. First item on the agenda is the nominations for the 2021 TAC officers. I'm first going to open it up for nominations for the chair position, and then we'll move on to the vice chair just because we're doing this virtually, and I just want to make sure that there's no confusion. So at this point, I open it up to nominations for 2021 TAC chair.
Gary, I have a nomination.
Thank you, Zach.
I like to nominate Gary Schaefer for chair for 2021.
And is there a second?
Krista Beniston, second.
Thank you, Krista.
Okay, we got a nomination and a second on that nomination. Thank you. Any other nominations out there for the chair position? If not, I'll now open it up for nominations for the vice chair position.
Gary, I have a nomination for vice chair.
Go ahead, Zach. Thank you.
I'll nominate Bob Durbin for vice chair for 2021.
And is there a second?
This is Krista Beniston, second.
Thank you, Krista.
Okay, thank you, Zach. Thank you, Krista. Any other nominations? Okay, if not, we'll close out the nominations, and now I'll entertain a motion to accept and approve the vice chair and the chair as nominated.
Gary, I'll make that motion.
I have a motion. Do I have a second to approve myself and Bob Durbin as chair and vice chair?
Krista Beniston, second.
Okay, only 2 microphones working today. Huh?
Maybe
thank you,
4, because ours are working too, Gary.
Thank you, Krista. Yeah, I have a motion and a second. Any further questions or comments? If not, let's hear a vote on those nominations and acceptance of those nominations.
Just probably what, Gary? All in favor? Is that
Yeah,
what you
all
mean?
in favor, yeah. Please say yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed, same sign. Okay, no opposition. Okay, seems unanimous, and welcome to the table, Bob. Thanks again, TAC committee. And we do a good job, and I appreciate all the members of the TAC committee. Okay, let's move on from nominations now. 2020 census update, Jeff.
Hi, everyone. Just the newest 2020 census info we have. The deadline to submit the count data to the president for the start of the appropriation process for congressional seats was November 31st. They missed that deadline. Right now, it looks like they are shooting for early February now as their deadline. They say there have been irregularities and things, and so we'll see. Hopefully, they think the date might be February 9th, but we'll know when that comes. But that's it there with this 2020. Other census news is that last month they did release the newest American Community Survey 5-year data. The 2019 ACS is now available. You could get that at data.census.gov, or you can contact me. I could show you how to use the website. It's a little daunting for first-time users, and it takes a little bit to get used to it, or you could just ask me and I could get you any information you need. Also on our website are some quick links to that page, information about the ACS, and how to bring up the ACS 5-year narrative profiles, which is full of great information for the counties, the state, and the cities and whatnot there. So that is where we are at with the census right now. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Okay, Jeff, that's the census update. Any additional updates on the website calendar?
Yes. Also, since it's January, just want to remind everybody that our website is a great tool for you to find out all our important dates. if you want to look at our calendar, you click on the events button at the top of the page and that will come up, or the latest are right there on the homepage. That's mostly just for meeting dates and whatnot there. And also all our funding dates are available at the funding tab. That is where you could find all the funding available through us and who to contact within the agency to learn more about that. All our most current dates that we have available are there right now, and you'll see in a couple minutes Steve will be demonstrating that as well. So that's all we have right there.
Okay, any questions for Jeff before we move on? Okay, thank you for those updates, Jeff. Okay, next, Myrta's up. She's got the next 3 items related to transit on the agenda. Myrta.
Thank you, Gary, and Happy New Year to everyone. The first item on the agenda, I would like to talk about the transit-oriented development and give you an update of where we're at with that project. Back in June of 2020, we were awarded, the WRTA was awarded a planning grant from the Federal Transit Administration to develop a comprehensive plan for transit-oriented development. It's a pilot program that will incorporate the Market Street corridor from the city of Youngstown and Boardman Township. This project is going to be very extensive, and what we're going to be looking at, we'll be looking at planning initiatives to support economic development, ridership, multimodal connectivity, accessibility, and the list that's on there. There are also other tasks involved with this project. There's 11 tasks that will look at existing conditions like land use, social demographics, ridership, pedestrian activities, infrastructure capabilities and utilization, transit performance measures. Also, we'll be looking at having an extensive public participation and community outreach on the corridor for the Market Street corridor. And we definitely have to identify and evaluate transit-oriented development districts, land use, zoning, regulations, and tying that into the project. Also looking at public-private partnerships for that project and political leadership and governmental support. We'll be looking at pedestrian access, bike lanes, fixed route service on that corridor. Also looking at cost estimates of what it would cost to develop that corridor, and looking at transit-oriented development strategies. Also looking at to develop TOD districts and implement action and timelines, and the outcomes and performance measures associated with that project. So it's going to be quite detailed and intensive. And next slide, please. This map only illustrates where the beginning of the project from the city of Youngstown along that corridor all the way to Boardman Township. We currently have partnerships with the city of Youngstown and Boardman Township, the steering committee and the evaluation committee. We're looking at that corridor. We will be working with our state DOT because that is a state route also there. And those points that are on that map are not set in stone, but it was just a overall map just to look at the corridor for the initial grant. Next slide, please. The project timeline was quite aggressive. Back in September, the timeline was actually that the RFPs went out in September, 2 times in the paper, the Youngstown Vindicator, Warren Tribune, and Akron Beacon Journal. There were 5 consultant companies that submitted proposals back in October. The proposals were narrowed down to the top 3. Those top 3 companies gave presentations back in December, and the WRTA will make their decision based on the review committee's recommendation back actually this coming January. It's the end of the month is their board meeting. Next slide. So do you want me to just go forward with the three
Yeah,
presentations?
go ahead. Just move along through there.
Okay.
Thank you, Myrta.
Thank you. Okay, the next thing I'd like to talk about, a lot of you probably got emails, tons of emails from different organizations asking to complete a survey. We are currently under the development of doing a survey for Trumbull County to develop a transit plan for the entire county. We have sent over, it's probably over 1,000 plus surveys out and notifications. Actually, the survey, if you go on, it's on our website and click on that link, please. Okay, so this link is on our website. It actually takes you to the survey. As you see, the arrow was pointed there. It is, the survey is also in English and in Spanish. And if you or anyone you know that doesn't have access to a computer, they can actually print the survey out and take it to like nonprofit organizations or anyone who needs in paper format. We are asking people to forward the survey, participate in the survey. This will be the future of transit service in Trumbull County and also in the region. So anyone who has a loved one or themselves, or as we continue to age, we might need public transit. So we want your opinion on how that should all look in the near future. The survey is quite easy to complete. There are drop-down menus, and all you have to do is click on it, and it doesn't take that long. So we appreciate anyone who would forward and do the survey, or that would possibly look at using public transit in Trumbull County, and anyone could fill out this survey. And I will be keeping you up to date on as that progresses through. Next slide, please. Now, if you go down, thank you. The next thing I wanted to talk to you about was the Trumbull County Countywide Service Request for Proposals. WRTA ended up submitting an RFP in the local newspapers on December 23rd and 30th. And this is to look at providing countywide service into Trumbull County until we go through this transition, because there's a big transition going on. We're doing surveys. We're going to be looking at, we do not want a separation of service in Trumbull County. We want everybody to have public transit or access to public transit. And as all of you are aware, there is funding currently right now through the Ohio Department of Transportation to provide those lines that are operating in Trumbull County and countywide service and paratransit service. The proposals to receive those, if you click on that link, you have to submit a request for that proposal from the WRTA, the bid packet, and it should be submitted to WRTA on January 13th by 12 p.m. So this particular proposal is going to be a joint effort between the WRTA and also the county commissioners in Trumbull County. And that concludes my report.
Okay, any questions for Myrta before we move on? Okay, thank you, Myrta.
Thank you, Gary.
Okay, next we have Grant, who's going to discuss the market in Brookwood ODOT safety project.
Hello, everybody. This will be really quick, but one of the other safety proposals that was put through by ODOT as part of the intersections throughout the state that the governor wanted to look at was the Market, Indianola Road, Shields Road, and Brookwood. And, they ended up doing, and they're proposing it for the pros for safety funding is actually closing off Brookwood for the fifth leg. They're going to turn it into a cul-de-sac. That way it'll clean up the intersection a little bit, which can get a little bit confusing there. But but that was going through for applying for funding. I haven't heard anything else beyond that and what's going on with it, but I just want to go ahead and let everybody know the safety thing was coming through. So that actually is about it, unless anybody has any questions about it.
Okay, I don't see any questions. Thank you, Grant. Okay, next Stephen's going to discuss the 2021 through 24 TIP program and the upcoming funding rounds.
Thanks, Gary. Felt it was a good time to update everyone on our programs. We have a big 2021 coming up with all 3 programs accepting new applications. If you see on our website here, that far left tab, the transportation tab, all the way at the bottom, the transportation improvement program. Just want to show you guys some updates here. Early in the year, it's good to go back over the website. We have all our documents here, everything that's useful for you guys. If you work down towards our programs, first one, our STBG program, the new applications there. Dates are in the application. Dates are on the funding page that Jeff pulled up earlier. We're looking at a fall application cycle for this program. Our next one, our CMAQ program, gets started a little bit sooner there. The new program guidance is there. The new application is there. Again, the dates are on the funding page. We're looking here for June applications being due. And then our last one, our transportation alternatives program. Again, the new application is there. And this is another one we're looking into the fall. You can see the dates on the funding page and the dates are on the application as well. One other thing to remind you guys of is our library. We have all of our documents hosted in the library. You see everything here, all the stuff that Murdo was talking about, all the documents, everything that ties to what we do, you can find here. Specifically in our transportation section of our library, one of the documents that was completed recently, the annual listing of projects for fiscal year 20. This was presented to you guys in the fall, I believe in October. And this is just to show that everything that we go over, all the documents that we show you guys, everything we provide, just a reminder that it's on our website, it's in the library. If you can download a copy here, print out a copy, everything's there. If anybody has any questions, you'll continue to hear about our application cycles as we get closer to the dates. Again, everything's on the funding page. All the specific dates are there. If you want to check that out. I mean, you can see right here, letters are due, applications due, all those specific dates are there. And I guess we'll kind of play by ear as far as how applications will be submitted, just not knowing what the near future holds for these applications and our ability to be in the office or not. So that's all for me. If you have any questions about any of the programs, any of the applications, feel free to reach out.
Okay, I don't see any questions. Thank you, Stephen. Okay, now we're down to the executive director's report. Jim.
Great. Thank you, Gary, and Happy New Year to everybody. I hope 2021 brings us back together again where we can be meeting in a conference room and enjoy conversations one-on-one or face-to-face, I should say. First, I want to start off thanking Gary for your leadership for the TAC and accepting the chair again as we move into the new year, and welcome Bob on board and look forward to his leadership with the TAC. This is a great opportunity for all our communities to talk and share ideas, and Eastgate to share some of the initiatives we're working on. And I find it very helpful for everybody, and we get that feedback. So thank you for your continued support of the TAC. Just want to touch on a handful of things. The Communities of Excellence, which Eastgate is part of in the Mahoning Valley. It's a Malcolm Baldridge program of excellence, which trains communities to better align, prioritize, measure the impact of community and economic development in an equitable way. It's a 3-year journey that members of the communities have come together to take on. We just completed year 1 and we're recognized by that national organization 2 years ago, but it really is opening up the lines of communication from regional partners that reach philanthropy, Port Authority, the Chamber, some of the cities representative, and we're going to expand our footprint as we move forward, getting more people involved in what we're trying to do. It reaches educational opportunities with YSU and Eastern Gateway, and we'll get into more of the manufacturing and workforce development. But it really centers on lines of communication and aligning a regional vision to move forward and be more successful as we get into the years to come. So we're looking forward to sharing some of those experiences as we continue to progress through this. It was a challenge through 2020 because of the pandemic, but the group persevered, and hopefully it gets a little bit easier to get together again when we talk about that in the new year. Want to just kind of update that Eastgate is working with the Department of Transportation, Drive Ohio, and the Ohio Turnpike. We will be applying for a statewide planning and research grant through ODOT, which is due the end of this month. We're looking to try to find planning and research money to continue the Voltage Valley initiative that was summarized in our build application last May, and really surfaces on planning and expanding that electrification, automation, and logistics efforts that are underway out there in the Lordstown area that really affects this region. So hopefully we will have a successful application, but again, we're up to the challenge to put in for additional funds for that. Happy to announce that the Warren Dam did get recognized, and funding is moving forward through the WRSP program. That list just came out. That'll be the Warren Dam would be funded, I believe, in 2022. I could be off on that date another year. It helps us to continue our efforts upstream. Lowville, Lowville is completed. Struthers is going under construction this year. Next year, the construction will be for the three in Youngstown, the three dams in Youngstown. We skip over to Girard Dams, but because we're working on that, on studies and verification that we don't negatively affect the communities and businesses. But we were able to secure funding for the Warren Dam, and we'll look to that to be in construction 2023. When I say 22, I reference when the funding would become available and then help us to sell that contract. So that's moving in the right direction. We do have the General Policy Board at the end of this month, our quarterly meeting. I encourage you to be involved in that as we are in our TAC. At that meeting, I'd like to lay out some of the initiatives that additional initiatives that we'll be diving into as an agency in 2021. But those are areas I want to touch on, open to questions if anybody has any. But I think, at the end of a year of 2020, and as we begin our journey in 21, I just want to express my sincere thanks to all the agencies for their support and communities for their support of Eastgate and their efforts that they're making in the communities. We're certainly moving in the right direction. Thank you, Gary.
Okay, now thank you, Jim. Okay, Lisa, we can send out the General Policy Board resolution to the committee via email for vote.
Yes, we could. It's an intergovernmental review, so it will just go through this committee. So I'll send that out after the meeting, and we'll ask for our members to just approve this through a vote, and then I'll have you sign off on that, Gary.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.
Now we're down to announcements. Before I open it up to everybody, I had a couple things. Jim, I want to thank you and your staff for everything you guys do, obviously, getting us through this pandemic virtually. It has been great. I mean, everybody's waiting for the day we can all get back and meet person to person. But in the meantime, this more than suffices. Additionally, the safety, on behalf of my office, and I know Paul McCoskey, these safety studies that your office and ODOT too, I want to thank ODOT, don't want to forget them. Specifically on the North Road, East Market Street, very comprehensive, very detailed, a lot of great information. And I know we still got a couple months before that gets finalized, but that really does help the local communities. By ourselves, while we know these issues are there, we don't have the time to dive into these things and do those comprehensive studies on those locations to take back to those businesses, property owners, and our local politicians to move forward with some improvements. So thank you, Jim. Thank you, ODOT. I also want to announce, most of you probably know by now, Kristen Olney has moved on. She's left the sanitary engineer's office in Mahoning County. And we now have Melissa Magno. I hope I said that right. Correct me if I'm wrong. She's now the representative for the sanitary engineer's office in Mahoning County. So welcome aboard, Melissa. Okay, now I open it up to anybody, any of the committee members or anyone else that has an announcement for the committee.
Gary, this is Stephanie. I have a quick announcement.
Okay, go ahead, Steph.
Thank you. Tomorrow, our District 6 NRAC will be meeting to hear discussions and presentations from the two applicants for round 15 of our Clean Ohio Fund. And then we will reconvene on the 22nd to finalize our scores and votes and send those down to OPWC. Anyone wishing to virtually attend the meeting, please shoot me an email and I will send you the WebEx link so that you can log in and watch the meeting as well. So this is a great dialogue between the NRAC members and the applicants to kind of weed out any comments or concerns or questions. And it affords the applicants the ability to highlight great things that are within their project that they wish to bring forth before the NRAC. So if anybody needs anything about that, just please let me know. Thanks. And congratulations again to the city of Warren for the Summit Street Dam.
Okay, thank you, Stephanie. Any other announcements for the TAC?
Hi, Gary. This is Justin.
Hey, Gary, Bob Durbin. Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, go ahead, Bob, first, and we'll get back to Justin.
Okay. I just wanted to thank everyone for the vote of confidence today. Secondly, I wanted to say that anyone needs any assistance from me from either county, don't hesitate to reach out to me. And thirdly, I look forward to sitting there quietly while you run all the meetings this year.
I may take a vacation, Bob. So
take a few extra, Gary.
Be ready. Okay, thank you, Bob, and welcome aboard again. Justin, go ahead.
Yeah, just real quickly, reminder that pre-applications for the planning grant program are due next Friday on the 15th. Super easy process to get that in. It's basically just a project idea. And then I'll get in touch with everyone that submits a pre-application and help you kind of fill out to the best of your ability a full application that'll be due February 12th.
Okay, thank you, Justin. Any questions for Justin on that? Okay, thanks, Justin. Any other comments or announcements for the board? Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I got a motion and a second. Any further questions or comments? If not, I'll see everybody next month. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Bob.